when you go through pain in life, when you go through poverty, when you go through failure, when you go through rejection, then you have passed through the track record that grants you the opportunity to minister to those people. Are we together? Now listen, one time the disciples came to Jesus. Are you blessed this afternoon? The disciples came to Jesus and they said, they came with the mother of James and John, and the mother of James and John requested something. She said, sir, will you grant that when you would have conquered Caesar and you now sit as king, let my son sit by your left and right? Are we Bible students? Jesus never said the position is not vacant. He asked a question: can you drink of my cup and be baptized with my baptism? Can you drink of my cup and be baptized with my baptism? I don't know where I heard this story, but I heard it somewhere, and I'm going to tell you quickly. A man of God, I think maybe it may be fiction or something, that a man of God called on God in prayer, and he said, Lord, you've been unfair to me. Why? He said, you've been prospering other men of God. They are laughing and always happy, great congregations, great membership, and I'm here suffering and angry. And then according to the story, I think it's just a fiction to communicate a message, God told him, okay, come, let's go. And he went to heaven, and when he got to heaven, he was told, he entered a room where he saw different crosses, different sizes that represented the assignment of men on earth. Are we together? And that God told him, he said, okay, since you are blackmailing me, go and choose the cross that you want by yourself. And he saw one tiny one on the ground, and the man went and quickly carried it. And God told him, but that's what I gave you. You just pick back the same thing you have always carried. That means the cross you are taking now was the cross you always had. That was your own that you are complaining about. And he saw some giant crosses, and he said, there are people on earth carrying this. And he said, those people laughing you see, that's what they are carrying. Do you understand my story? That the cross represented the burden, and he was complaining that God gave him something heavy. So God told him, now choose by yourself. And he quickly went and carried a small cross, and God told him, the cross you are complaining about on earth, this is it, the small one you picked. There are people today who are carrying burdens. They are carrying destinies on their shoulder, and you may see them rejoice, you may see the glory that comes from them, until you hear the story, until you hear the things that they went through. Many years ago, the first crusade that we had, we were just about 20 or so in that car. We did not even have money to lodge or do anything. We were on our way going. The crusade was going to start at about 6, but at about 2, 3 we were still on the road. The car died and refused to start. There was no money to even take another bus again. We knew that if fate did not bring this car back to life, we were finished. We literally were laying hands and praying on the car to come back to life, because there was no other way we could pay for anything. Say process. Please shout it. Say process. Many of the things we call failure is not failure, it's a track record. It's a track record you need to justify the lifting that God brings to you. Now hear this. I share this with you today to inspire you. Do you know, one of my dear friends had to carry the guitar literally and started playing the guitar in front of the car, and then we started prophesying and praying in tongues, sincerely speaking. That's how that car came back to life. And we drove back to we went to the Crusade Ground. When we got to the Crusade Ground, our ladies, those days there was no money to buy firewood. Ladies had to climb the tree to pluck, and the ladies that were in welfare were still the ladies in worship team. They had to prepare our meal and then run and go and dress for the crusade. But those days are over now. But thank God they came. Are you seeing that now? So today, if you are about to pray for someone who is starting ministry and he say, man of God, I'm in trouble, I cannot afford a rent of 10,000, you will not look at him and say shame on you. You will remember that this man reminds me of where I used to be, and with that compassion you can hold his hand and say, don't worry. It is not proof that you are a failure, it's proof that you are through a process.